so let's open it, and the first thing we'll do is see what we have here. As you can see, it was purchased at Amazon, and I actually had to wait for this. So this was had a back order and took about 9 days to get. And here we go. It is the Wyze scale. So over the last several months, we've been updating everything here in our smart home, and we've been putting in Wyze products, so we've been switching to them. They're simple, they work, they're inexpensive, and I like their app. Some of the things that people have liked and not liked, but generally it gets very high reviews. And again, it will use the app, which we already have because we have their bulbs, we have their cameras, and we have their plugs so far. And so according to this, it checks your weight and body fat trends, body composition metrics. It syncs with fitness apps. I happen to use Android, and it does sync with both the Android Fit, and I have a Galaxy Watch Active, and it does sync with the Samsung app also. Seamless display cycles through metrics. Does your heart rate, believe it or not. Unlimited sharing with family and friends. And as I understand, you can have up to 8 people. And it's private to each of those people on their phone. And it's got a very slim design, which we're going to see in a few minutes. So very simple, as they always are at Wyze. And again, we'll see how all this works. All right, now we'll try to open it up and see what we got here. So far we have corrugated and more corrugated, and there it is. I've been looking forward to this because I've heard and seen in some videos how nice it looks. All that appears to be in here is this, and welcome in the box setup, which actually looks like you put in batteries, put it on the app, and you connect Bluetooth, and you put your feet on it. We'll see if it's really that simple. And so let's take a look at the actual scale. Feels really good. It feels good in that it's not light, and it's solid. It's very, very solid. Let's go ahead and take it out of here. There you go. And it's you can see here's where the display is that you'll see later on. It's got 4 squares in it, so it's got a nice little grid, and it shows you where to install the batteries, the app, and how to set it up. So again, everything from Wyze has always been very simple, and I expect nothing different here. And guess what? We got batteries. So everything we need is in here, and in a second we'll start setting it up. And it looks like the first thing is we're going to take this off. Oh, I don't like that. The tape was a little bit difficult, but anyway, it came off. And this one, it came off. It left nothing. So this is the back of the scale. Kind of a matted finish. It's got 4 rubber stoppers or bumpers or pads, whatever you want to call it. And there it is. It came off. So simple. So we're going to put the batteries in and start it up. And so it might have to be cleaned off. It's glass, nice glass top, very strong, very thorough. And yep, I could see where, by the way, it's instantaneous. I noticed that you have to have it down, but it seemed like it was instantaneous, so it's not one of those that you have to touch and wait for it to show 0 or anything. And by the way, it looks like it's very easy to read. Now this is one of the problems I've had in the past with Wyze, is that from time to time I do have difficulty with their with the app as far as when it connects. So let's see what happens here on this one. We're going to add a scale. Oh, I don't want to edit the rules, so I know you can't really see this really well, but anyway, let me go to a plus, add a device. So I'm going to add a device, and here's all the devices that they make, and the bottom one here says Wyze scale, so we're going to go ahead and add that. And let me put this in, and I'll be right back. So it asked me for some information, fill it in, which I've done. Year of birth, height, athletic mode. Athlete mode, it looks like athlete mode, you need about 10 hours a week or so of exercise, and I decided to leave it off, so I've left it off. And then we'll click next, and we'll see what happens. The next step is to step on with bare feet, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know how easy or hard it is for you to see this, but anyway, I didn't really want you to see my weight, but let me step on it and see how fast it does what it's supposed to do. So I will step on it. And done. So it has gotten my weight, and now it says measuring, loading, and there's firmware. So right now I'm trying to pair a new device, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm not actually using the directions, so we'll see. And it has not found anything yet. I'm going to stand on the scale and again and see if that does anything. I don't know if you could tell, but the scale is getting an update, and this says it's about 45% or so done, and you can see it circling. And I don't know how I finally got it. I had to go back and forth to make the connection. I always have some sort of minor problem with connecting Wyze, whether it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. The scale is only through a Bluetooth connection, not Wi-Fi. And it looks like it's just about done. As you can see, it's at 90%. And I'm going to get on in a second and try a few other things. It looks like it should be finishing up 100%. Done. And let's see what we got here. It shows my body fat. I don't know if any of this is good. Water, 50%. Trend, and it says click to measure heart rate. I don't know if you could see that right there. So I'm going to try that. So it's measuring me again on the scale. So it says my body fat, it gives me that. And so I tap to measure my heart rate. I kind of know what it should be, so we'll see what it does. You can see you really got to stand on it a while to get your heart rate. It's about a quarter of the way through right now. And I would say, yeah, that's probably about right. Typically, my resting heart rate is 58. And I know when I'm walking, it's up in the 70s, so probably accurate. Looking at the app again, you could see the water, muscle mass, body fat. That's probably not good. Heart rate gives you a trend, so after you've done this for a while, and you can see there's the weight, there's the body fat there, so it'll measure it for a week, month, year, so that's kind of nice. And let's see what we got here. Oh, and it shows the different times that you did it, and it keeps a history for you. So far so good. We'll have to play around with it. I don't like the BMI. That's very, very high. but that's my problem. And you can see it's here on scale. So we'll kind of measure this for a while and see what kind of progress we make. Well, I just came in from taking a long walk, and I just want to show you how, again, this works. So I'm on the scale. Oh, and you could see I seem to have lost a lot of water, liquid. So I'm at 220. I think the other thing to note is, I'll show you all of them eventually, but the BMI. So you need to keep the phone with you. You need to turn the app on in order to properly get the information. And later we'll go through all of the metrics. And I have now tied it to my Google Fit account, so it syncs with my Google Fit, which again I'll also show you later. So far, I'm really pleased with this. I've been using the Wyze scale for about 3 days, and though it looks like it, I would tell you it's not as bad a footprint and handprint and dust magnet as I thought it was going to be. Sure, it does get some because it's a glass top, black back, but it's really not bad. So I am impressed with it. I lost the connection once, but I finally have determined the loss of Bluetooth connection was my fault. I've now, after a couple days of using this, I'm feeling pretty good about it, other than I'm not feeling good about my weight, but that's my own issue. One thing I did note, this is what you actually see. So you have your weight, and your BMI is there. So you can press that and you could see where you are in BMI. And then, of course, your trend, and on the bottom, your heart rate. And then you can go and it'll track your heart rate. The thing that's difficult to see on this, and I would encourage you all to take a look, right here there's a little caret or a down arrow, and you have to go like that to open everything else up. And once you open it up and you see everything else, gives you a pretty good idea of a whole bunch of measurements that's good. In addition, I didn't mention, but I know that others have, I do use Google Fit, and so it does allow third-party access, and so I did match it to use it with my Google Fit. And I've checked that, and it works perfectly with it. So overall, I would say that it was easy to set this up. There's not much to it. It's just a scale and some batteries. The setup was easy. The Bluetooth connection, I always have trouble for some reason, but overall, it's not been bad. I haven't had great difficulty in the connections. The minute I step on the scale, it works. The heart rate monitor appears to be pretty accurate, as does everything else on this scale. So I think Wyze has done it again. Good. Their app is great. The use of Google Fit is a great help to me, and I know a lot of people are happy also that it works with Apple Health. And so I would give it a thumbs up and a fairly high recommendation.